Now then, let's talk about the disaster of Darragh. Storm Darragh is on the way. It's going to be very, very difficult for many, many people. A rare red wind warning issued as Storm Darragh approaches. Now, Joe Wheeler is my favourite meteorologist and tells us the weather like it is without any folksy nonsense about wrapping up warm or bringing a brolly. Joe, great to have you with us. She's a meteorologist with Square Raindrop. What is going to happen? A red wind warning. This is pretty serious stuff.
It is. We had a red wind warning way back in January, I think, for northern parts of Scotland. Haven't seen one since. And of course, these warnings come after the Bert alert that wasn't a few weeks ago, where many people were saying there weren't enough warnings, not enough advance warnings. And in discussion, it's very hard to say. Bert was running into cold air, so there was this risk of snow on the leading edge. The fact that Wales was then going to receive about a month's worth of rain in 24 hours seemed to be overlooked a little bit, and it was a multi-hazard storm. This one is more likely to be just the winds. Yes, there is some rain associated with it, some heavy rain associated with it. There's some snow too, and this will fall about 8 inches maybe above 400 metres in Scotland. And there were places that were flooded yesterday simply because of where they are, what the water levels are like, and they got some more rain, and there's further rain to come tonight. So yes, the rain is an issue. Driving conditions, I think, will be absolutely horrendous, but it's the winds, and the winds don't arrive, the strongest winds don't arrive with the rain. Really, the rain will be moving through by the time we start to see the strongest winds appearing, and here they could gust up to around 80, 90 miles per hour. So is
that right across the UK, Joe, or in specific areas?
No, specific areas. We've got amber warnings for much of the western part of the UK, red warnings for the absolute peripheries down through parts of Wales, parts of Northern Ireland too. And these are the areas most at risk of seeing these strongest winds. They're not only strong winds, they're coming from an unusual direction. When we get these strong winds and gales, they're usually from the southwest or the west. This time they'll be coming from the north. So there's a colder element too. And also the risk there of seeing trees come down that wouldn't have done, because trees get used to being battered from one direction. They don't expect it from another. Usual problems in terms of debris flying around, tiles coming off roofs, and the potential for power lines to come down too. And we've had real problems through the day. I think those are going to persist into the weekend, and of course ferries as well.
What are the problems? If you've got an amber warning or a red warning, is the advice sort of don't travel if it's not necessary? What sort of advice comes with those warnings?
Well, the Met Office warnings are all impact warnings in terms of the fact, are they going to impact people's lives? And when you get an amber warning, it means, yes, there's a good chance you will be affected by this. By the time you get to a red warning, it's almost a threat to life. Now, it gets a little bit confusing because you've also got heat warnings or cold warnings, which we had just recently, amber warnings of cold, which shouldn't be confused with anything to do with the weather. So stick with the weather ones. They are the impact ones. It means the winds will be very strong. There's a chance of power outages. There is a chance of things being blown around. There is a chance of bridges being shut, you know, all that kind of thing. So really, yes, you do need to be paying attention to these. And certainly if you're under that red area, you know, absolutely take notice.
Joe, thank you very much, as always. Joe Wheeler there from Square Raindrop. She's a meteorologist, my favourite weather forecaster, always speaks total sense and just gives us the facts rather than saying, do wrap up warm. No, I'll get hypothermia if I want to. David.